you guys, it's Pretty More.
It's Charming Joe.
And we are here with another episode.
Another one.
Yes.
11, baby.
Oh my gosh. No, the games. We did the games.
Yeah, we did. But podcast episode.
I know, but podcast
number 11, no?
It's 11. It is.
It's 11?
You're right. For podcast episodes.
Yeah, podcast episodes. What's up, y'all? Y'all missed us?
I know.
What y'all been up to?
Yeah.
We're doing a lot.
We have.
May have to move soon. Never know. We're going to figure it out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot's been going on.
Yeah.
As you can see, some physical changes have been going on. She's now red.
Yep, and he just keeps getting finer and finer.
She's not. Oh, stop, baby. But definitely, we miss you guys for sure.
Me
Absolutely.
Me too. And I like this topic today too, so I want to jump right into it.
What we talking about, baby?
I want to jump right into it. But for those of you who don't know, we are the DMV's newest.
We're still new.
I'm still gonna say new.
We're new and we're improving every time.
We are the newest podcasters. Yes,
absolutely.
Coming to you from the DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
And Baltimore. We're gonna include you guys. Area.
First time.
Yes, coming to you with relatable topics such as family, life, money, sexuality, so many new topics now have been listed.
A lot.
Likes and dislikes.
Please comment, subscribe, let us know how you guys feel. Has these videos been helping you guys? How you guys, give me your 2 cents. We're interested. We want to know how you guys feel about us, what you guys are experiencing. And any questions you guys may have, definitely leave comments below. Let us know, DM us. I'm sorry. And we'll definitely try to get you guys on the show maybe. We'll see.
I like that.
We actually got someone who requested us to host them on the show. I'm not gonna say who it is yet. We'll tell you guys if it happens. But we love the feedback that you guys have been giving us so far, and we appreciate it for sure. So we want to also say thank you. Thank you from Miss Morgan, Mr. Joe. Let's hop right into it, baby.
Yes. Right.
But before we do that,
yes,
my favorite part of the show, outside of seeing you on camera, is loving ourselves. And more importantly, loving each other. So y'all know what we do. We take a shot up, we like ourselves. Right? Okay, baby.
Cheers to my man.
I hope you ain't give me a lot. Cause
cheers to you, baby.
Cheers to me.
Cheers to you. I ain't give you a lot.
Yeah.
So now we are even
sure?
roll today.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's another episode for another day. Woo!
Yeah. Not too bad, bro.
Not bad. Not
too bad.
There you go, baby.
Too bad.
There you go. It's so funny.
But
gotta love her.
Too bad. But no, for real, guys, this topic is good. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I feel like every woman, every man has been in this scenario, and the topic is, am I approachable?
Right.
Yep.
What's funny is you say that, and literally as we're recording right now, I know we had intended on this being more so for women. Being approachable. But I'm actually going to speak for also the men and sometimes us being approachable. And is it ever okay for a woman to approach a man? I think it's sometimes kind of frowned upon. Like, all right, let that man come to you. You know what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised. I mean, you guys have missed out on your husbands because you have no courage to go speak to him first.
Can I chime in?
No. No, but it's really
it is real. And before I met Joe and even friends, you know, we were the type of females where, you know, let the man come to you and don't go looking for the man. If you go looking for the man, he won't come. And I mean, that's very, very true.
Now, is that something you teach or would teach, or would you recommend that, or how would you?
You know, that's
like, because you're in a different space in your life now.
I am.
You're a lot older.
I am.
And I'm just wondering, like, in retrospect, is that something you would actually advise?
No.
Okay.
It's not. And I had to kind of learn that, even having conversations with you.
Okay.
From what you've told me in the past.
Right.
Can I put your business out there?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll put your business out there. You had a lot of women come to you before we met, and they would, you know, present themselves as wanting to date, talk. They were very upfront about what it is. Oh, you fine, you handsome, I want to have dinner, oh my gosh, I want to take care of you, whatever. And I feel like now that I'm older and I look at love, I look at life differently. In general, the life I want to live with a partner, you really can miss your opportunity. Not presenting yourself first. Women need to also learn, if they see a man that they like, it's okay to, if you don't want to really be the first person to speak, you can at least get a little close. Like, I feel like sometimes women have this like Cinderella syndrome. And it's like
Cinderella syndrome. I like it.
Yeah, like, sis, look. Like, you're sitting way over across the room, and
you have no glass slipper.
Way right. He's way over there. He's not gonna see you.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you walk to the bathroom and sit back way over there. He's not gonna see you.
Absolutely.
And when I say Cinderella syndrome, I mean like it's like this imaginary, like, oh, he's supposed to come to me. Like, there's no slipper there for him to come to you. There's nothing there.
I agree.
So why don't you like go sit by the bar, feel the vibe, do a little eye gesture if you don't want to speak first.
Right.
And then 2, of course, speak first. There's nothing wrong with speaking first.
Now, where did that come from? Where did it for you? Like, where do you think it came from? I guess we all have our own opinions about where it came from, but men speaking or having to speak first to a woman that they're interested in, because interest doesn't really have a gender, right? I mean, you're either interested or you're not. So why does it matter who speaks to who first? Where do you think it came from?
There's a couple of things that come to my mind, and I want to throw proposal in there.
Okay.
Women have this idea, and it's probably a society thing. I don't know if it's generational or ancestors, whatever, that if you speak to a man first, you drive the relationship more. The man has to love you a little bit more than you love him.
Wow, that's a good point.
When it's time to get married, he has to propose, you can't. And I feel like a lot of that runs through a woman's mind when she's thinking about courting. And she's like, if I speak to him first, I have to do all of the initiation. And there's a chance that I'm no longer the chase now, because I chased him first.
This is good.
So
this is really good.
It becomes that first, and then, like I said, proposal comes. Oh my God, am I gonna have to propose to him? Like, what type of man is he gonna be towards me now? Because I started this, not him. And they feel like they take some type of like manhood away from the man by presenting themselves first.
Gotcha.
So I feel like that is a lot of the case.
That was a really good answer. That was actually a better answer than I expected.
Thank you.
She's so smart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I guess this kind of became like an interview almost. But I want to know, what do you think makes you guys unapproachable? Like, why are men scared? Why are men scared to come up to more, I guess, beautiful, more attractive, and seemingly independent women? Like, what makes you guys, or what sets you apart?
Yeah. And this still kind of trumps me, because there's a fine line with this answer as far as a man, as far as stature and like, the type of man that he is. Because you can have a man who is, dressed up and has his life together, no insecurities, and he walks up to a woman that he sees that he likes of the same, common interest, which is the outer appearance.
Absolutely.
Right? But then you can also have the same man who sees a woman that matches his appearance, but he's still scared to walk up to her.
Okay.
So I can't even say it's a type of man. I can't say what it is, as far as why men don't feel like they can approach a certain woman. That question is always running through my mind.
And I'll take over, I guess.
Yeah, what do you think?
What I know is men carry a lot more insecurities than what we like to admit. Men tend to chase, or we tend to like what we appear to be easy. What we may assume to be, I can get in, I can get out. She doesn't look like she's too hard. She doesn't expect a lot. It's sad to say, but men tend to talk to women, or are more comfortable approaching women that look like their standards are low.
Right.
So sometimes when you're dolled up, like I've heard women say, like, oh my God, I was in like sweatpants and my hair tied and a baggy t-shirt, and 5 guys came up to me. Well, those 5 guys came up to you because they felt like you were, probably a low-valued woman.
Right.
You don't really think highly of yourself. You may have a lot going for you.
Right.
and you might be an easy catch.
Right.
And it's sad to say, but we judge you guys based on so much. It's like you guys judge us based on.
Right.
I know women look at shoes, they look at the watch, they look at haircut, and they judge us based on those attributes.
Yes.
And those things that we have, not knowing who we are.
Right.
But what we see first is what we tend to abide by.
Right.
And I believe that men sometimes they are intimidated by what appears to be a strong woman. And if we kind of took out, and what I've grown to know, that I've been in those same positions before.
Right.
I'm going to be transparent, but I've grown to know that sometimes the most beautiful women are the most easiest to talk to. Sometimes the most beautiful women are, the most insecure. Sometimes,
right?
They're the most down to earth sometimes, and you really will never know who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, unless you make that first move.
Right.
And I think sometimes that's kind of where it lies.
I like that.
I do. I think so. Absolutely.
I do. And I can agree with that answer.
Yeah.
And there have been times, I can attest to that, where in the past, I'm dressed down, I look terrible.
Right, according to you.
And I'm like,
yep.
What? And then you go out, ladies, my single ladies, and you go out and you look your best, right, and nobody speaks to you.
I'll be honest, because most men don't really have real game. That's how I feel. Most men can't really carry a long conversation. Most men can't diversely talk about different topics, especially with the initial meet and greet. Most men can't do that. So they feel like if you're dressed down, you don't think too highly of yourself, which is why you're dressed like you are.
Right.
Your appearance is a lot. It says a lot about you,
right,
quote unquote. So you must not have a lot to talk about. I can get your name, I can get your number, and a place to meet maybe later on. And if that goes the way that we initiate or plan it to go, then we're good. Our foot's in the door. And then if we get the first base, second base, and we get a home run, doesn't matter how we think about you anymore.
Right, right.
Which is why it's very, 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 to me, important to have a standard across the board, no matter who you are, man or woman, and challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Like I would tell men, challenge yourselves. Like if you feel like this is a beautiful woman, she looks like a high-value woman, go talk to her. Yeah. Literally. You know what I'm saying? If you really get that gut feeling, she might be out my league. Because men sometimes also know what they have to offer and what they don't have to offer. Sometimes, I'm money a little funny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really know where my life is heading right now. I don't know what direction I'm going in. And sometimes they know that women are looking for those hard answers. Like, what are you doing? Like, what kind of job do you have? What's your 5-year plan?
Right.
And if we don't have those type of answers for you, we can kind of spot that's the kind of woman you are, and it intimidates us.
Yeah.
And I think that if we first learn to love ourselves, put ourselves first before dating,
right,
as men, and then you go out with a certain level or a different level of confidence, you can now attract a certain level of women. And yeah, it can continue.
Yep. Yep. And I want to piggyback off of just because of outer appearance.
Right.
Back in the day, they used to say you are who you hang with.
Right.
But you're not always who you are based off what you wear.
Or you are who you attract. And I don't necessarily agree with that all the time.
Right, because opposites attract a lot too.
Oh, there you go. I agree with that a lot.
And how did that happen?
I agree.
Was somebody looking sleazy one day? Somebody looking dressed out one day? Was somebody looking...
She was looking sleazy. I talked to her, and our first date, I was like, wow, you look completely different. I know, because you judge me. Based on the garments I was wearing. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to be a certain kind of person and don't judge a person by what they are wearing, what they look like, kind of car they drive. Like,
right.
That matters. Like, are you serious?
People are so quick, especially with the
cliche.
Cars and cars especially. People really look at, and I want to jump to details. People look at like the jewelry you're wearing. They don't even know how to pronounce some of the designers. As long as I see it's something that majority of the time it's something I don't have that much access to.
And represents luxury.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No matter what, whether you're more of a, conservative dresser or not, everybody likes that luxurious type of look.
Right.
So, I mean, as far as being approachable, you can't judge people off of having a really good day where they look nice. You never know. It could just be a really good day. Yep. Or it could be just who they actually are. And I think, yes, insecurity does.
Now, let me ask you, if women are single, I'm just asking the women, and they're looking for their mate or their man, their partner, should they dress accordingly no matter where they're going? Or does it really matter?
And that's funny because I had just said, like, sometimes you're not who you are based off what you wear, right?
But sometimes you're not expecting to meet a person where you're meeting them at, in the state you're meeting them in. And sometimes I do feel this way, that sometimes women, they reject a man. Because sometimes we come up and we look a little too good. And you guys don't feel really good about what you look or how you look that day. And you're insecure about that. And you kind of brush us off like, oh my God, like, he saw me in this. I don't want him to see me like this. Like, I just don't know.
Right.
And what you don't realize is if he's the man for you in the first place, he's not judging you based on your t-shirt.
Right.
He's not judging you based on the kind of car you drive or where he met you at.
Right.
You know, once he gets to know the kind of person and woman you are, he should then abide by and then, I guess, insert his judgment based on that.
Right.
And not how he met you.
Right.
Or what you look like when he met you.
Exactly.
And I think we get so caught up sometimes in so much of the cliches of life and how people perceive us. And it's so small when you look on the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a relationship, like, no one cares that you had a bond on the day I met you. Like, you're a really good person. Like, you're responsible.
Right.
You can manage money well.
Right.
You're a really good business owner. Or you're a really good employee. Whatever it is. We're supposed to look at those qualities in a person.
Right.
And not necessarily the things that don't really matter at the end of the day.
Right.
And I think if we took more of that approach, we'd be more approachable.
Right. Right.
And that goes for both men and women. And I think we should start. Right. I do. I think so, for sure.
And I want to throw this in, and I kind of want to throw the same questions that you asked me in the beginning. I want you to answer those about women approaching men. But also, just to piggyback off of this as well, sometimes, like, for instance, you go to the grocery store. Maybe you're in a t-shirt and some sweatpants. That doesn't mean that you need to dress up everywhere you go because you're looking for somebody. You're just going to the store and you may happen to run into somebody in that moment, right? But as far as like going out where you're looking, where you're seeking, who you're congregating with, if you have the intention of going out to meet somebody, then you do want to wear your best. You want to look like what you want to attract. So I do believe that if your top's tight and your skirt's short and you're showing a lot of skin, you may be a little bit clouded as far as what type of man you attract. And you may have to kind of, weed out who is really trying to talk to you and who's not because of what you presented up front. So presentation does matter. Right. But it's just not like an all in all the time. Right. I do want to say that. But what do you think, though? I want to piggyback to the beginning of the conversation. Okay. Do you think that women, should approach men?
I think it should go both ways. I do. I don't think that women should be, I guess, brainwashed into believing that we don't like to be approached, because we do. I think that if you see something, especially if you're intentionally seeking for someone, a partner for the future, like, if you let that man go because of what your pride or what your girlfriend said not to do, that could have been your husband right there. Right. And you just let your single friend at the table who's ordering the shots get between you and what your future is supposed to hold. Right. And sometimes that's a problem. And that's why you also have to watch the company you keep. Yeah. Because I think sometimes who we surround ourselves with, our environment can dictate where we're going in life. Right. And I think that women sometimes they listen a lot. I don't know if men do this more, but women listen a lot to those around them. Yes. To me,
comfort.
Mom or dad or girlfriend or you guys just always are consuming everybody's opinion. And then you're I guess you're casting your nets based on what each person says is supposed to happen. And before you know, your head's all messed up. You don't know who you are. Right. You don't know what you want. Right. You don't know what a good man is supposed to look like. Exactly. And you miss out on opportunities because your dad said, no, a man's supposed to open all the doors as soon as he meets you. And, and you're like, well, he didn't open the door for me. He's a bad man. Like, calm down, sweetheart. Relax. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, you need to first figure out what you want in life. Now, first of all, who you are as a woman. Right. Then what you want as a woman. And you should intentionally, no matter what no one around you says, search for that. And if that means you're going up to the man yourself first, if that means you're approaching him first, then that's okay. Right. Because you're still intentional about who and what you want. Right. And a lot of women they don't do that. They listen to Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and I think Sexy Red now.
Now, I kind of want to do a little role play.
No offense to them three. I love them to death.
Right. No offense. But no, I want to do a little role play. Okay. A little role play real quick. Absolutely. Because the question is, some women, I feel like, also don't approach men. And I've been a victim of this in the past. Okay. And my friends have talked about this. They don't know what to say. Okay. Because you guys are supposed to have all the game when y'all come to us and we do that type thing. And we don't say much. Mm-hmm. So we don't have game. Women sometimes don't have game either. Sometimes women gotta have a little game too.
See, the problem is everybody want game. That's why everybody gets played with. See, you play games. That's the problem.
You gotta have game.
No, you shouldn't have game.
No, I'm saying, but you gotta have game when you talk to somebody. Though you do gotta have a little game. You gotta come up to somebody.
No, you should be. You should. I think the perception of game, because some words just have negative connotations. Period. Right. You think of game, you think of playing something.
Well, okay, not like that. But I'm saying.
I'm serious though. Right. This is how people think.
This is how they think.
We're programmed to think that way. Yeah. A girl's game wasn't all that. Now, the only thing you're saying when you say his game wasn't all that was he wasn't able to deceive me enough. That's the only thing you're saying. He wasn't able to lie to me correctly. Mm. He didn't feed me the best cracker bull SHIT that I've heard before. Mm. That's all you're saying to yourself. Right. Mm. The person coming to you is honest. How you doing? My name is X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Well, you guys are. What are you drinking? Okay, cool. What do you do? X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. I'm X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Are you intentionally dating? Mm-hmm. I am. I'm looking for this way. Mm-hmm. You're looking for, and some girls like, hey, wait, it's square. He's a nerd.
Like, yeah, they do. They do stuff like that. Right. Yeah.
And all he did was tell the truth. Right. All he did was tell the truth.
Right. Right.
He wasn't smiling excessively. Mm-hmm. He didn't have this like grandiose pickup line. Mm-hmm. And he didn't compliment you on, your outfit. And, just like the real game. And sometimes y'all get caught up in the game and not the person. Look past the game. Mm-hmm. Look to see what the person is really showing you. Right. Stop looking at good words and fancy sentences. Like, it doesn't matter. Right. That doesn't matter. That doesn't last in a relationship.
It doesn't.
I've had some fancy words. I'll put them together. You're right. And I promise you, every single one of them girls are not here today. Not one of them. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Be genuine, be yourself, be intentional. Mm-hmm. And if you want something, go get it.
Right. That makes sense.
Period.
That makes sense.
It's simple.
That makes sense. I think, too, a lot of women, they get caught up in, when I say game, and I've been a victim, just the steez, the aura, the smooth, the suave of a man coming up to you, and they're more so picking up on tone and orientation, and sometimes we're not even listening to you talk. We're just kind of more so identifying with those type of things. I think women pick up on stuff like that a lot. And that's why when they say, like, oh, well, I don't really want to talk to him. He's a little dry, boring, or he's a square. He may not be, but women are very emotional that way.
I think women like to be finessed.
Like damsel in distress. I think
like that. Like to be finessed more than they think they do.
They do. We like to be finessed.
I think women like to hear, like, really good words. And the problem with words is when they're not followed by action, you find yourself in trouble. Yeah. You find yourself in deep dog SHIT. Yeah. Because you're still looking for the proper words. Right. And not the walk behind them. Right. And that's the problem. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about what I've always believed is I only believe words that they're accompanied by the action behind it. Right. There's nothing you can tell me. Right. You have to show it to me. Right. And if anyone knows me, you know that about me. You can't tell me anything. Right. You have to show it to me. Right. And I don't care about that. You can be the driest female when I talk to you. Right. But if you're consistent, okay, now you have my attention. Right. But if you're responsible, okay, like this. Mm-hmm. But we can have a conversation about anything under the sun. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe she's educated. Right. Right. The game don't matter. The pickup line don't matter. What color her hair is, don't matter. If she's the right one, fucking buy a red wig, who cares? Right. And we look at, to me, we look at so many false narratives and so many things that just don't matter. And then on the flip side is we ignore a lot of the red flags that do matter. Right. And that's probably another conversation for another day. But all of this happens in approach. All of this happens in the first conversation. All of this happens within the first few minutes of getting to know somebody. It does. And I think you guys, as women, should stop looking so much into the words and kind of like feel the general, I guess, the genuineness and the realness of the person maybe protruding or not protruding. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about anything else around what may not seem to be genuine about the person? Right. Right. But yeah, and yes, come up to us first because we want to try to talk to us first too. Right. Because we got feelings and emotions. I know, you guys do. And we cry. And we want love too. We need to know. And we like to be complimented. Yes. And we like to be spoiled. Yes. And we like to be cooked for and buy us a gift every now and then. We like it. I like that. I like that. That's not too sick. What y'all think? I know. Let us know. Let us know. We're definitely going to continue this conversation. Absolutely. Got a couple other ideas and things that I want to talk about just regarding this because this is a really good topic. Right. It is. It is. And you can kind of go on for days and days and days about it. Yes. Because there's so many different ways to look at it. And I think that if we all just always were intentional, very upfront, honest, and wasn't looking for a way to not be ourselves and looking for a way to be what society is trying to make us. Right. You know, I think we get to the nitty gritty and get to the depth and the root of who the person is that we're trying to get to know a lot faster. Right. Well, let us know. Comment. Yes. Please let us know your experiences. Like I said, DM. Yeah. Subscribe. We're back like we never left. We love like we never have been. And I'm loving this new red on you, baby. It's cute. Baby, how you see yourself in this camera? I'm looking at you. Man, you so fine. I'm looking at you, boo. All right, y'all. All right. Until next time. Peace. See ya.